to win this game. No, couching this. I want to hear who you guys are going to pick.
If we have to pick. All right, so if we have to pick,
oh man,
I don't want to necessarily pick against our sister team, but I do have to say that the composition of Deathcap really makes me feel like they're going to be able to capitalize a little bit better on some picks, and so I'm going to go throw my vote on Deathcap.
Death capitalize.
For me, first of all, I'd like to say that I've seen this happen on LCS streams where the shoutcasters have to predict who's going to win, and then they get grilled about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like the overall team fight capability and the CC and damage that goes with it might tip in the favor of I just lost their name. Deathcap for Cutie.
So I'm going to say all three of you are picking Deathcap for Cutie?
Amy?
You know what? Amy?
Oh man.
You could be the deciding vote here.
Oh my goodness. I think overall, composition-wise, I would have to say Deathcap for Cutie as well. It's really going to take some good picks, I think, on Bloodbath and Jan's part in order to do something. So pretty much the same thing everybody else said.
Oh wait, well, so for the record, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to say Bloodbath and Beyond. Simply so I have to work with John every day, so I want to make sure he sees and he hears that.
Good call. Looks like we got some good. Oh, amazing damage right there from Colton.
And that can be negated slightly by Morgana's spell vamp pass if she gets, but it's still going to be very rough going for a little while for Kavre. He still has actually a couple potions in his inventory. If I was him, I'd be popping one of them right now.
Oh, looks like we have
it's first gank on Colton.
Unfortunately,
and they're going in hard.
Oh, the flash and 2 flashes.
Oh man.
Oh, counter gang.
Oh goodness.
First blood goes to Corpo.
So I do want to make a recommendation going forward. I think it's a bad idea that we're watching a stream that's a few seconds ahead of what your actual stream is, because the audio is not going to sync up at all.
Actually, no, it is synced up.
Does it?
Yeah. So
okay.
So you should actually be watching the spectated mode from your actual client. That's why you're invited to the game to spectate.
Okay.
So switch to that, and you'll be in line with us.
Okay, well, disregard that then. I feel kind of like a dork now.
There you go.
And while we were discussing that, looks like they grabbed a kill on Corey. I'm not really sure what happened.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, that's okay. I missed it too. And I just want to let you know, Violent, I feel like that every day. So every time I get into this game, so you're fine.
Looks like Nar is being quite aggressive and pushing, trying to run at the turret, being pretty hard to farm there.
I feel like I understand Bloodbath and Beyond's idea in that very early 3-man gank on Colton, but it was definitely overcommitted on.
Yeah.
And after they blew his flash and everything, I think they should have just called it quits and headed on out.
Well, that would have been good. I mean, they would have at least had his flash down, and then they could go back to lane, and in many ways would have came out ahead there.
Would have really lowered Colton's death threat potential on Corey as well, which Colton went back and grabbed himself a Hextech revolver, which is really going to help his burst damage. And I see Corpo setting up for a gank. Oh, didn't get the black shield in time.
No stun. Got his flash though. Got rooted. Took some damage, but walks away clean.
I'm sure they're going to keep track of that flash cooldown on Kavre and probably make a return visit.
Would the feeling be the reason why they're kind of concentrating on Kavre is he's the bigger threat of the three, or is it just more convenient for Colton?
I'm going to go with more convenient. So he's squishier to take down. You know, John, even if he gets overextended and has quite a bit of hit, you know, damage that he could take before that would actually result in a kill.
But at the same time, it is very unusual. Well, a little unusual that bot
Looks like
lane is
another
being
gank on
focused.
Corey. Oh, takes a couple power shots for his trouble.
Definitely. And in that situation, I didn't check to see. I think Corey did have his black shield up. If he would have used his black shield on the when Zach came in there, he would have not taken much damage at all. And
Colton's pretty weak. Matt's sticking around to give opposing damage. Corey's pretty weak as well. Looks like Corp will try to perform another gank just to alleviate some pressure.
you can see,
Oh!
And Colton comes in for the kill. Colton's get out.
Oh.
Very nice. Very clean takedown.
Otherwise, he left that with more health than what he went in, didn't he?
Yeah, he ulted out of that fight, so he was fully prepared to commit to it.
and you can see that these repeated visits on bot lane are starting to take a toll on Corey's CS number as well. Starting to really fall behind Colton.
Yeah.
However, in top lane, Trundle is starting to build a nice little lead on Nox.
That is very true, and it's quite a significant lead as well.
More or less matches. Well, it's changing now, but once John gets back to lane, it'll more or less match the CS lead that Colton has on Corey. So
Red team is up about 1,200 gold.
the gold lead is almost entirely on Colton. So it's one of those things where, like we mentioned earlier, if Morgana does hit a binding on Colton and they manage to lock him down, setting up a death rush.
Yep. Invading the jungle, trying to deny Matt some farm, but he got it anyway. Looking for the altar, but goes for a gank.
Going for Matt instead, dealing a big amount of damage. He'll recover some of that with his passive.
It's gonna be the first to kill. Unfortunately, a bloop. John gets out safely. Skin of his teeth, Matt.
It is a
Burns
kill
flash,
picked up.
Colton burns flash. Wow, so much weakness. Oh, and gets out. Barely, barely.
Oh,
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, hits him with
What
it.
a
oh
shot.
my goodness. Oh,
Oh, it burns his ult to get out alive, though.
And he is out.
Red team captures the blue team's altars, so that will give them a additional healing in lane, 1% for every minion felled near them. Press O.
thank you.
So it looks like Colton has completed first item. No one else has a completed first. Oh, actually, both junglers have their first item completed. Their jungler item.
At this point, Colton is a level ahead of everybody else in the game. He's had a lot of time to farm.
Ooh,
Oh dear.
there's the gank on John. Gnar ultimate down, get a little extra damage and stun. Looks like he can. Nope, they will be able to tank it.
Oh, that might be Ubersoft. Oh, able to flash out.
Nice
get out.
flash to get away there.
Now that gank would have went very differently, but Yordle's ultimate was still on cooldown. He could have ulted one of those tanky champs right in front of him and walked right away from that ult with no problem.
Yeah, it's getting to the point to where the red team can actually walk underneath a turret, take several shots before they have to consider backing away. Looks like they're gonna invade
This is gonna be rough.
Blue's jungle. Hitting subtle. Oh, pillar for separation.
Great pillar.
Uber joins the fight, 2v3.
Rotating there.
Subtle says, let's get out of here.
They committed a lot to that. Got 2 health bars below half.
Cabre's really tempted, but he's going to reconsider. Yordle
Should
goes
not.
back to lane.
Should not be underestimated that Gnar still has his Mega Gnar available, and it's very close to actually activating, so wouldn't have been wise to try to turn that around.
Defensive plays. Corey's showing himself, applying a little pressure just by being there. Zach coming up to lane.
Colton waiting for the opportune time to go in and
Very nice.
get that with a kill.
So when Echo dives in there and he gets one of his abilities off on whoever he's targeting, he gets extra damage. Is it equivalent to like a Lich Bane?
It's every third proc of one of his abilities, so if he hits like his his Q and his E, then immediate auto attack will be like a like a Lich Bane. Very
What do you
big
mean?
bonus damage.
What do you mean by like Lich Bane?
So Lich Bane, whenever you use an ability, your next auto attack will deal additional damage based on, I think it's like 2.5 times whatever your attack damage is.
And then your AP is calculated in there as well. I think it's like 50% of your AP.
Yeah.
So it's
And
I
that's,
don't think it's
that's an item
2.5.
you can get?
yes.
Yeah, it's an item you can buy. So, and then with Echoes, it's every third ability used on someone or hit on someone will apply not necessarily a similar effect, but something kind of like it. So you'll deal extra damage with your auto. Looks like Colton's in, going in for another. Black Shield absorbed most of that, got him with a good binding. Exhaust went down. Fighting power is diminished a little bit on blue side. Zach comes in for another gank. Colt binded for just a moment.
Got Cavalry Splash there, it looked like too.
Cavalry's pretty weak. You might have to abandon that.
So both summoners are now down on Cavalry.
I would like to point out that kind of like a little bit of item building here. Like you'll see that Morgana started to go towards the Rod of Ages, but feels like some extra mobility is what is needed against.
Colt going in. Colt taking the brunt
No,
of
still
both
the-
turrets. Colt's to get out of the line. Zach going in and finish the job.
Oh,
So
Wow.
close on Horpo there.
Horpo might have looked weak, but he probably had
Has
his
his pass.
loop up,
Yeah.
passive to prevent death.
Cell division was up at that time, so it was not near as risky as it seemed.
Yes. Thank you for the actual name of that ability.
I had to look at it. I
The
clicked
bloop.
on Zach and looked at the ability name.
Yeah, I call it bloop.
for A Heat and 21, bot lane means bottom lane. Top lane is top lane. Jungle is jungle. It's common. Just so let you know on that one.
Looks like Yordle goes for the ults on Uber. Fortunately, Zach was there for a little bit of defense. Yordle's ult is down at this point, and there's the kill.
Second tower of the game was that? It just went down?
Huh?
Yeah, second tower.
So, if the action will stop for a minute, I did want to talk about some item builds and stuff. Corey felt like a little bit of extra movement would help him stay a little safer. Some extra magic pin for those who haven't built any magic resist yet. But you'll notice that Matt is immediately going for some magic resist to deal with the threat that is Colton. I have to say, in this situation, I really don't know why John is going for a Blade Laroon King. I feel like his job needs to be to absorb damage, and he can't do that if he's building that damage himself.
Especially playing from behind like this, it would benefit them much more to have a tankier setup to kind of deal with some of that damage, correct?
Right, and Trundle
Yeah.
can dish out plenty of damage just
Oh,
from
yeah.
being alive.
Yeah,
You know,
his Q alone with enough damage plus his other ability of that grants attack speed can definitely help out. Looks like they're trying to deny this pad.
They definitely have to respect the engage.
Yeah. Yordle
It's
takes
awesome.
quite a bit of damage. Subtle comes in to peel off for him. Orpo pulls him back onto the pad.
Morgana
Oh.
ult here.
Oh, that was
Shut
a
down.
big Morgana ult, and this is what they've been waiting for. They're going to chase this hard. Great binding.
Yep, Colton is down, so the primary damage aspect of Red Team is gone. Yordle still has to respect Uber.
Don't know if
very
they're gonna
low.
catch him here.
We're gonna settle. Oh,
There's the Meganar
Oh
form.
man.
Oh, that's gonna
and
get a
Yordle
kill on
did big
John.
one.
that is going to take care of Gnar.
Alright,
All in
there's a-
all,
1 for 1 on that particular trade.
a two for
Two
one
for-
overall.
2 for 1. Well, if you count the whole engage.
It is.
And these kinds of trades definitely favor Bloodbath and Beyond,
Yep.
as they need every chance they can get back in the game.
Working on turret down in bot lane. Looks like Subtle's going to go capture a pad to get their movement speed bonus back and deny the enemy team the regen bonus.
Magarn,
Morgana caps or destroys the turret, so that kind of evens out a little bit of the gold on that.
How do you show the gold? There used to be a button. Like, how do you show the gold?
The gold's at the top. The items. if you
The
press
gold
O.
for specific champions.
Oh,
I used to be a button for it.
yeah, it's a toggle. I don't know which.
Like, I don't see anything for that, so I was kind of curious. But looks like John's gonna face check. His ult is still down. He's ignited, and Colton's gonna get that kill. Oh, great
Oh,
great
yeah.
to consume, or I forget what it's called there by Matt, but Cell Division will pop. Colton's
Will
gonna
they be
try
able
and
to do this
protect
in
him here.
time?
Oh, big damage on Coverage. Oh, great binding. Matt really taking up a lot of damage this fight.
Oh man.
Very hard for them to deal with him.
Colton tries to go back in.
Oh.
oh,
By
Barely
a
missed by that
pixel.
binding there.
that would have been bad.
That was another good overall trade for Bloodbath and Beyond, 1 for 1. Just giving themselves time to try and farm up.
Ubersauce goes on the aggression. Gets rooted for his trouble.
Just gets to take a quick break.
Sit.
I'm sure Corey actually probably said that.
Yeah.
Out loud.
Probably.
I don't doubt it. Both teams are respecting each other a little bit, just trying to get up some farm, can finish off some of the items that they have in progress.
So, as the game goes on, if Bloodbath and Beyond can prolong it, the Blade Ruin King on Trundle will be very good. I don't want to say that it won't be. The problem is that if it was focused early, oh, fight that.
Oh, there's the dive onto Trundle. And it's pretty tanky.
Oh, that's great. Great job by Matt.
Yep.
Saved by Subtle there.
Oh,
Ooh.
beautiful use of that ability.
Amazing, amazing. And this is where Yordle should probably have left that fight. Ooh.
Oh, got him.
Caught him in transit. Unfortunately, it's
quite
hard
get
to
to him.
chase it down. Missed the tongue lash. Got the binding.
Another binding.
Takes him down. Cell Division was not up for that.
The amount of bindings Kavre is hitting this game, he might as well call himself a marksman.
So in that fight, got initiated on Yordle pretty quick. Looks like they're going after Colton.
Oh, barely missed him there. That tongue lash.
And he gets out safely. So on that last fight, where Crumbly was saying, hey, you know, that Blade King's not a bad item, but it's not probably the first item build. You know, if Yordle had a little more tank, he could have weathered that storm a little bit better and come out on the top side of that.
You know, that being said, I think it's smart the way they're kind of playing around it. You know, like Subtle Defiance consuming John and protecting him like a carry. You have to look into that. Like, if he doesn't have the tank items, then you have to protect him like a carry. And as the game goes on, that Blade of the Ruined King is going to be dealing very good damage to Gnar and Zac especially. So hopefully they can hang on a little longer, and he can start to get some tank stats.
That's very true. Colton's going back in, and Zac from Blanc downtown getting considerable damage. Oh, got separated.
Got the kill on Subtle there.
Oh, this is a Morgana ult.
Morgana ult.
Colton got out of it.
Fortunately, Subtle's not going to be around to help weather some of that storm. Colton goes back in.
Oh.
And that's an ace.
So that right there, I think, was a very good play on their part. They were able to isolate and destroy the tank first, and then there was nothing to really stand in their way from then on out.
At this point in time, I don't think that the blue team, or Bloodbath and Beyond, can outright oppose in a team fight against Deathcap. They all have to do picks at this point. Looks like Horko's going to tank for just a little bit, give time for a little extra damage on the turret. Helps to cycle in that next wave of minions. Corporal dives into range of men.
Probably fall back here, or they're going to.
Cell division is not up, so this could be a kill. There it is.
There's the kill. If they can track this Gnar down, that'll be a big pick for them.
Yordle ulted
There it
Gnar.
is.
Binding's in. There it is. Take it down. Unfortunately, Bloodbath and Beyond did lose their bot lane inhibitor, so that will make apply a lot of pressure in the bot lane, opening up top lane for the next invasion, as well as potentially going after Vilemon.
It's very easy to say, you know, spectating, but this would be a great situation for them to go do Vilemon really quick. They're not going to get a tower. Colton was at half health and almost no mana. It would have been something they could have conceivably done, especially since Trundle has a Blade of the Ruin.
Yeah, that would
They'd be doing percent health damage. And like I said, I know it's easy to say watching, but
Yeah.
would have been a good call.
Yeah. Colton has Lich Bane as well as Void Staff, so he's definitely going to be cutting through all of that magic resist that Bloodbath and Beyond has built up.
You can see that as far as item builds on Bloodbath and Beyond goes, they have Cabres going towards a Void Staff next to try and deal with Zac's tankiness a little bit.
He could be going towards Banshee's Veil as well.
It looks like he's had that Null Magic Mantle for a while. And
Okay.
it is kind of hard to tell, actually, at
Yeah,
this
because
point.
it built into that as well.
And right there, basically, Yordle said, I'm going to check that bush with my pillar, and he succeeded in spying on the enemy team, so he didn't die in the process. And there's that burst damage coming out from Colton onto Cabre.
That's some big damage from Morgana. Oh, happy
shut
feet
down.
there, dodging a bunch of abilities.
Gets smited from Zac, goes
Absolutely.
down. This is definitely a bloodbath.
And beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond. Zac got
Stay
away
tuned,
safe.
audience. We'll find out.
Looks like bot lane's pushing in a little bit.
And
creating
it looks
some
like
threat.
that they're making that call.
Oh.
It's only Horpo. However, he is the jungler. He does have Smite. It will be a Smite war.
Smite is
Yordle needs-
for Horpo and for Subtle.
Yordle needs to let Kinch tank that.
And it looks like they're going to back away. Base is definitely under attack, so they'll have to do something about that or sacrifice it.
Yordle going on to Horpo.
Not sure that an engage there is.
Yeah, I
Needs
believe
to
the
back up.
King is
Yep.
down.
Needs to back up before Colton comes in.
Probably be a good time to go heal up and defend the base at this point.
Looks like Deathcap is going in on Yordle just before they go for Vilemon.
And that's a quick kill. It's going to be very difficult. I'm not sure they even will go for that just yet. They'll want to get this turret down.
Yeah.
And it was the Banshee's Veil, Amy. You were right. That's what Corey was going for, trying to get rid of some of that burst damage from Echo.
And looks like Matt's been weathering quite the storm there. Trying to buy a little bit of time, but unfortunately Bot Wave has pushed into the base. We have to deal with that. So fight on two fronts. Cell Division was up, so he will be coming back.
Can they get the kill on him? Not quite. They are all very low.
Oh,
Made Colton
barely
use the
missed
ult
with that
there.
binding.
And Yordle is back up, so he can help fend off that Bot Wave. Deathcap's kinda on the low side. Colton's almost out of mana, or has low mana, not almost out, but they're gonna capture the pad, probably do a reset.
I think we just saw Kinch start to go for an ult to try and maybe flank Deathcap for Cutie, but oh, looks like they're still going for this fight.
Looks like Blade of the Rune King got used there. Currently, Scuttle has Horpo cut off.
Oh.
Colton's got the damage. Ult goes down for Yordle onto Uber. Ignite was burned on Yordle.
Colton's being very careful. He has almost no mana. Very scared to enter this fight.
Ooh!
Instantly shut down.
Hit
Great
by
binding.
the binding. Hit by the binding. Very nice. All right, so that was a 2 for 0. So that gives blue team some time. Their inhibitor's back up, so they can push.
I would like to point out that one of the things that helped Yordle survive that fight was he's finished his Spirit Visage, which increases all healing for him, including the healing that his ult does. Great binding. Will this be enough? Great stun.
Yep,
And
that
he's gone.
disabled them. And this is what happens in the later games of Twisted Tree Line. If you get aced or two of you are down, the death time is so extreme that you can just ignore a tank, you know, underneath the turret and just go right for the turret, which is kind of what happened there with Horpo. And he tried to do something about Bloodbath and Beyond, but unfortunately he doesn't quite have the tools to take out the team.
Well, this is something of a comeback for Bloodbath and Beyond.
Oh yeah.
It really is.
They've already lowered down the gold difference by to 2,000. So
Yep.
And this is where, you know, the decision to build Blade of the Ruin King first item starts to turn around, you know?
Yep. He's got his Spirit Visage already taken care of, so he gets the additional healing on his lifesteal, as well as the minions in lane that die around him. This is on Trundle.
wow, it looks like Bloodbath and Beyond, their champions are actually ahead. Kench is 16, Trundle's a 14. Everybody on their team is 14s. They have Morgana's a 15. They're actually ahead.
Ahead in levels.
Level.
Still behind by almost 2K in gold. So
Yeah. And I would say most of that gold lead is still on Colton. I
Yeah,
can't
that's-
see that, but I'm pretty sure that that entire 2K gold lead is still
Oh,
on
yeah.
Colton at this point.
Yeah, taking a
200
look at his.
minions, 11 kills.
Yeah.
He's got it. And Bloodbath and Beyond is definitely respecting that fact and trying to weather the storm until their team is ready to form another pick. That's going to be kind of where the success and failure of each team is, basically who picks who first.
But it should be noted that at this point, even with the Void Stab, not catching out.
Finding
Subtle.
what's used.
Very.
Ultimate on Colton is down. Cabrera's ult goes down. Cell Division is up. Or was it up? Looks like it was not up, or he denied it. Let's see ults. I was thinking.
This is going to be a.
Cabrera goes down. Uber goes down. Colton is still up, but has low mana. Yordle has the killing power, but they don't have any. Oh, looks like they're going to go for it. And the pillar goes in the way of Subtle, and that's an ace. Looks like they're going to go.
Subtle needs to put that shield up. There we go. Very
Unfortunately,
nice.
They don't have any minions at the turret, so they kind of have to wait and back off. That was a great turnaround.
And now gold is only 1k in Deathcap for Cutie's favor. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ubersauce may have started off with a frozen mallet and sold it to get a Blade of the Ruined King, specifically, I'm sure, to deal with the tankiness of Subtle Defiance. Those kinds of sells usually aren't worth it.
No, he turned it into a Black Cleaver.
Are you sure? I think I sworn there was a frozen mallet and a black cleaver.
Oh, he had both of them?
I think he had both, and I think he sold the frozen mallet so that he could get a Blade of the Ruined King. Now this will help against Kinch specifically, but it'll make him a lot less tanky.
Considerable amount of damage going down. Looks like Blade of the Ruined King on Yordle was used. Uber's ult on Subtle's denied it on Yordle.
We're gonna ult going off here.
Oh!
Big
Massive amount of
damage.
damage there.
Wow.
This is still a very close fight.
Yeah, there's still quite a bit of fight left in that team because once that shield goes, and that got turned down completely the other direction. Colton has quite a bit of damage left. So Corey has to respect it.
And they are, appears they are heading towards the inhibitor to knock that out
Yep.
again.
Very big minion wave on the Deathcap for Cutie pod turret though, and might just take it all by itself.
Looks like it's going down.
A trade I'm sure they'll be glad to accept.
There it is. Open up the bot lane. And that's as far as it'll go. Looks like Kaveri is trying to stop them from backing. Looking for any opportunity to get a binding and a puddle down.
At this point, it's nearly tied up. Red team is ahead only by one turret, and they still have both their inhibitors. So that's about the only difference. Gold.
3K
And
gold.
they've opened it back up to a 3k gold. Okay, that is a cool. That is a cool
Recall.
back. Good,
Really is.
cool recall skin.
Looks like Yordle's trying to go for the, I want to say Yormax Fist, but that's not what it is.
That's what that is. That's what the red item
Oh,
is
that's what
there.
the red
But
item
he might be going for a Hydra to take advantage of that ever-growing HP pool he's getting, and give himself an auto attack reset.
Oh, looks like we're there waiting to see what the enemy team does. Kaveri's
Oh.
going to push down the bot wave. Both poofs used.
Are they going to go?
They're looking at Biomall.
Looking
They're
at
all
it,
up
they're
there.
starting. Surely the
That is a well-timed Biomall. Bloodbath
they
and
will
Beyond
not.
is too far away.
It's going to require an
Gonna have to
ult.
back off there.
Oh.
Oh,
That could be a game changer right there.
Fortunately, they didn't get back in time yet. Looks like Subtle ulted in. They're going to chase them down. Yordle goes for the ult, steals the tank stats,
I think he's gone.
gets a little aggressive for that. Ooh,
No ult. Ooh,
Oh man.
almost picked off Ubersauce there.
Sterix Gauge, that's what I was going to say.
Oh,
I was thinking the anti-burst.
right. That is a good choice, for sure. The burst of Colton is scary for any champ at this stage in the game.
And looks like Colton finished his Deathcap, or not Deathcap, Wooglit's Witch Cap. So he also has the ability to go invulnerable for 2 seconds at his leisure. help save him if his ult doesn't quite do the job.
Which at this stage of the game is an eternity.
Looks like closing in on the top, trying to put some pressure since they have the Biomaw buff.
Yordle is back up, and they're going to try and defend up here. But they're going to take their altar.
Yeah, create a little bit of pressure, see if they'll draw them out of the base.
And I did want to point out, Zach has the Abyssal Mask equipped, which is specifically so Colton can deal extra damage. Oh, fight right now.
Colton take quite a bit of damage, so has Matt. He's been exhausted. He might have to Zonia's here. There it is. That is down. Yordle is down. Cabre has to retreat. Subtle is too weak to help out. Cabre goes down. That could be game right there.
Very
That
well could
timer
be.
is almost a minute. Yep, that is game. Subtle goes in for the last ditch effort.
Wow.
And that's that.
Inhibitor
Oh,
comes
inhibitor
up.
respawn, but I think it'll just slow them down a little bit. That's all.
That's a pretty good game right there.
It was
That was
a
a very
fantastic
good
game.
game.
Yes, I will agree with that.
That was a very good game, a fantastic game. Let's go to the general chat, and we can catch up with everybody there.
Because you guys all had spirit massages.
Yeah. Yep.
Holy
That
crap.
was probably one of the
Great
best.
game.
That is probably the best game we've had so far this season. Great game, guys.
That was a really good game.
Yeah, it was close as fuck, man.
Yeah. It was really close.
I just want to say, no offense to Deathcap for Cutie, but I rooted personally for Bloodbath and Beyond. I was pulling for them. I just want to point that out, John. I'm just going to put it out there.
He did it